What if I told you that the stress you feel right now is following a predictable biological script inside your body? Your racing heart, your fatigue, your burnout, none of it is random. It's all part of something called general adaptation syndrome, a survival mechanism that can either protect you or slowly wear you down. Today, we're breaking it down in simple, real-world terms, so you can take control of your stress before it takes control of you. What is general adaptation syndrome? Let's start simple. General adaptation syndrome, often shortened to GAS, is a model that explains how your body responds to stress over time. It was developed by Hans Selye, the scientist often called the father of stress research. He discovered something powerful. Your body doesn't just react to stress emotionally, it reacts biologically, in 3 predictable stages. Think of it like a battery. First, you get a surge of energy. Then you try to adapt. And if stress doesn't stop, the battery drains. Those 3 phases are alarm, resistance, exhaustion. Let's walk through each one in real life. Stage 1, alarm, the fight or flight response. Imagine you're walking down the street and suddenly a car almost hits you. Instant reaction. Heart rate spikes, breathing speeds up, muscles tense, pupils dilate. This is the alarm stage. Your body activates the fight or flight system. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol flood your bloodstream. This response is controlled by your nervous system and your adrenal glands. In short, your body prepares you to survive. Now here's the key. This stage is not bad, it's protective, it's life-saving, it's necessary. The problem isn't the alarm reaction. The problem is when you never leave it. In modern life, the car almost hitting you isn't a car. It's financial pressure, relationship conflict, work deadlines, social media comparison, health worries. And your body reacts to all of it the same way. Your brain does not distinguish between a lion and an unpaid bill. Stage 2, resistance, the coping phase. Now let's say the stressful situation doesn't disappear. You didn't lose your job, but you're afraid you might. You're not sick, but you're worried about your health. You're not in danger, but you're constantly overwhelmed. Your body enters the resistance stage. Here's what happens. Cortisol levels stay elevated. Blood pressure may remain slightly high. Sleep becomes lighter. You feel wired but tired. On the outside, you look functional. You're going to work. You're handling responsibilities. You're pushing through. But internally, your system is working overtime. This is where many high achievers live. They say, "I'm fine. I can handle it. I just need to push harder." And for a while, they can, because the body is incredibly adaptive. But adaptation has limits. Stage 3, exhaustion, burnout and breakdown. If stress continues long enough without recovery, the body enters the 3rd stage, exhaustion. This is where things get serious. The same system that helped you survive now begins to wear down. You might experience chronic fatigue, frequent illness, digestive problems, anxiety or depression, brain fog, hormonal imbalance, burnout. Your immune system weakens, inflammation increases, sleep quality collapses. And here's the hard truth. Most people don't notice they're here until they crash. Burnout isn't sudden, it's cumulative. It's the result of living in resistance mode for too long. Why this matters in modern life. General adaptation syndrome was discovered decades ago, but it's more relevant today than ever. Why? Because modern stress is chronic. Our ancestors faced short bursts of danger. We face long-term psychological pressure. Your body was designed for short stress, physical action, clear recovery. But today we have endless notifications, financial instability, information overload, poor sleep, Minimal physical movement. That's a perfect recipe for staying stuck between resistance and exhaustion. Understanding this model changes everything, because now you can ask yourself, which stage am I in? How to break the cycle? Here's the empowering part. Stress is unavoidable. Chronic damage is not. To prevent exhaustion, you must intentionally create recovery. Let's break this down practically. 1. Regulate the alarm stage. You calm the nervous system through deep breathing, slow, controlled movement, prayer or meditation, time in nature, reducing caffeine overload. When you breathe slowly, you signal safety to your brain. No safety signal equals constant alarm. 2. Support the resistance stage. If you're in long-term stress, your body needs support. That means 7 to 9 hours of sleep, protein-rich meals, consistent hydration, strength training or walking, boundaries with work and people. Resistance mode drains nutrients and energy. You cannot out-hustle. 3. Prevent exhaustion. If you're already feeling burned out, the solution isn't try harder. It's reduce load. Sometimes that means saying no, taking a break, getting professional support, adjusting expectations. Recovery is not weakness, it's strategy. A real-life story. Let me tell you about someone I once worked with. He was productive, disciplined, ambitious, but he hadn't taken a real break in years. He thought stress meant he was winning, until one day, he couldn't focus. His sleep collapsed, his blood pressure spiked, he felt emotionally numb. He wasn't lazy, he was in exhaustion stage. Once he understood general adaptation syndrome, everything shifted. He didn't quit his goals, he adjusted his recovery. Within months, energy returned, sleep improved, mental clarity came back. Not because stress disappeared, but because he stopped ignoring biology. The truth about grinding. Let's be honest, modern culture glorifies being busy. We celebrate 5 a.m. wake-ups, working non-stop, hustle mentality. But without recovery, hustle becomes harm. Your nervous system doesn't care about motivation quotes. It responds to pressure and rest. Balanced stress builds resilience. Unrelieved stress builds disease. That's not motivational talk, that's physiology. How to build stress resilience. Here's what resilience really means. It's not avoiding stress, it's returning to baseline quickly. You build that by exercising consistently, maintaining strong social connections, practicing gratitude, limiting doom scrolling, keeping realistic goals, learning to pause before reacting. Small daily regulation beats occasional extreme self-care. Consistency beats intensity. Quick self-assessment. Ask yourself honestly, do I feel constantly on edge? Am I pushing through but secretly exhausted? Do I feel emotionally drained and physically depleted? No judgment, just awareness. Awareness gives you power. Take control of your stress. General adaptation syndrome teaches one powerful lesson. Stress isn't the enemy. Unmanaged stress is. Your body is not failing you. It's communicating with you. The racing heart, the fatigue, the irritability. They're signals, and once you understand the pattern, you can respond instead of react. If this helped you understand your stress differently, here's what I want you to do. Comment below. Which stage do you think you're in right now? Share this video with someone who looks fine but might be silently exhausted. Subscribe to Balanced Motion Health for more science-backed, simple explanations that help you take control of your health. Remember, you don't need to eliminate stress to win. You need to manage it intelligently. And now, you know how. Stay balanced, stay strong.